What if the only thing standing between you and fluent English is 15 minutes you're already wasting? Let me guess. You've been wanting to improve your English for a while now, maybe months, maybe longer, and you keep running into the same wall. No one to practice with, no class nearby, no time. Sound familiar? I hear that from almost every single person who finds this channel. They say, I'm stuck. I want to speak better, but I don't know where to start, and I don't have a partner to practice with. Here's what I tell every one of them. You don't need a partner, you don't need a classroom, and you definitely don't need hours of free time. 15 minutes. That's it. I'm your host, and this is English Unleashed Lab, the place where we turn everyday moments into real English progress. Today, I'm handing you a complete daily practice system. It's built for solo learners. It works anywhere. And it starts the moment you finish watching this video. Stick with me to the end because I'm also going to share the one vocabulary habit that makes everything else click, and most learners completely overlook it. All right. First, I want you to think about something. When you picture English practice, what comes to mind? A heavy textbook? A classroom with fluorescent lights and a teacher who calls on you when you're not ready? Yeah, a lot of people carry that image. And that image is exactly why so many learners never start. Because practice doesn't have to look like that. Real effective English practice can happen while you're making breakfast, while you're on the bus, while you're standing in your bathroom getting ready for the day. Yes, the bathroom is genuinely one of the most underrated practice spaces on the planet. We'll come back to that. But first, let's settle something. How long is 15 minutes, really? It's the length of one episode of a short podcast. It's the time it takes to finish a cup of tea. It's probably how long you've spent scrolling your phone since you woke up this morning. You already have 15 minutes. You've always had them. The only question is whether you're going to use them on purpose. And when you do, when those 15 minutes become a daily habit, the change is real. Not overnight, but over weeks, over months, you will not recognize your own English. I promise you that. So here's the system. I call it the 555 method. 3 blocks, 5 minutes each, 15 minutes total. Block 1, listening. Block 2, speaking. Block 3, reading or writing. 5, 5, 5. Simple enough to remember, powerful enough to actually work. Let's go through each one. Block 1, 5 minutes of focused listening. Now, before you say, I already listened to English all day, hold on. There's a massive difference between hearing English and actually listening to it. Background listening, English playing while you cook, while you scroll, while your mind is somewhere else, that barely moves the needle. Your brain isn't engaged. It's just noise passing by. Focused listening is completely different. It means you give something your full attention for 5 minutes. Just 5. What should you listen to? Short content works best. A brief podcast clip, a YouTube video under 3 minutes, one scene from a show you already enjoy. But here's the key, and most people skip this step. Before you press play, give yourself a mission. Ask one question. It could be, what's the main point of this? Or how does the speaker feel about this topic? Or what are the 2 most important things they mention? That one question transforms passive hearing into active learning. Your brain shifts from standby mode into search mode. It starts hunting for the answer. And when your brain hunts, it remembers. Here's the method. Listen once with your question in mind. Find the answer. Then listen a second time. But this time, relax. Don't search. Just absorb. Notice the rhythm. Notice the pauses. Notice the way certain words feel in the mouth of the speaker. 2. Listens. One question. 5 minutes. Done. One more tip before we move on. If the content has subtitles or a transcript, use them. There is zero shame in reading while you listen. In fact, the research is clear. Seeing written words at the same time you hear them spoken creates a stronger memory connection. Your brain links the sound to the symbol. For learners at any level, that's incredibly valuable. Okay. Block. 1. 5 minutes of focused listening. Mission in mind. 2 listens. Transcript if available. Now block 2, and this is the one that surprises people. Block 2. 5 minutes of solo speaking. I already know what some of you are thinking. That's exactly my problem. I have no one to speak with. That's why I'm here. I hear you. But what if I told you that speaking alone might actually be more effective than speaking with a partner, especially at your current stage? Researchers in language acquisition have studied solo speaking, sometimes called self-talk or solo output practice, and the findings are consistent. Speaking out loud, even with no audience, trains your mouth to form English sounds faster. It builds the mental pathways that help you find words quickly. And perhaps most importantly, it grows your confidence through repetition rather than performance pressure. You're not being graded. There's no awkward silence to fill. You just speak. Speaking alone in English every day builds more confidence than waiting for the perfect conversation partner. Let me give you 3 methods you can rotate through. Method A. Narrate your morning. This one is exactly what it sounds like. Talk through what you're doing in English out loud. It's Tuesday. I woke up around 6:30. I'm making coffee right now. It's a little cloudy outside. I've got a busy day ahead. That's it. Short sentences, real vocabulary, real grammar, past tense, present continuous, future plans. And the more you narrate, the more automatic those structures become. They stop feeling like grammar rules and start feeling like natural speech. Method B. The mirror conversation. Go stand. In front of any mirror. Yes, actually do it and talk. The mirror isn't just for vanity. It gives you immediate feedback on something most learners completely ignore. Your facial expressions, your body language, and the physical act of forming sounds. English is not just a mental exercise. It lives in your face, your posture, your energy. So stand there and talk. Introduce yourself. Describe what you see in the room. Pretend you're on a video call with someone you just met. Walk through a mock job interview. Play a customer at a restaurant. The sillier it feels, the better it's probably working. Method C. The swap it game. This is my personal favorite for building grammatical flexibility. Start with any simple sentence. Say it out loud, then swap one word, say the new sentence, swap another word. Keep going. For example, I need to finish my report. She needs to finish her report. She needs to start her report. She needs to start her project. They need to start their project. They decided to start their project. Do you see what's happening? You're bending grammar in real time. You're practicing agreement, tense shifts, pronoun changes, all without a textbook in sight. 5 minutes of this, and your brain becomes measurably more flexible with sentence structure. Set a timer. Pick any sentence, swap, and speak. Don't stop until the timer goes off. All right, you've done block 1 and block 2. 5 minutes of sharp listening, 5 minutes of brave speaking. You're already 2/3 of the way through your day's practice. Hold on just a little longer, because block 3 is where everything comes together, and where I'm going to show you the vocabulary method that separates learners who plateau from learners who keep growing. Block 3, 5 minutes of reading or writing. Here's what I love about this block. It bends to fit your life. On the bus, in bed, at a cafe, waiting for an appointment. 5 minutes, anywhere, anytime. And I want to be very clear about what this block is not. It is not grammar drill time. It is not textbook exercise time. No fill-in-the-blank worksheets. No memorization lists. This is real practical language use, the kind that connects to your actual life. The writing side. Every day, write 3 to 5 sentences. That's your only requirement. Not a paragraph, not an essay. 3 to 5 sentences about anything at all. Write about what happened this morning. Write about something that annoyed you. Write about a place you'd like to visit. Write about a conversation you had, or wish you'd had. I woke up late and missed breakfast. I grabbed coffee on the way out. The line was long, but the coffee was worth it. That is legitimate English writing practice. And here is why it works so well. When you write, your brain is simultaneously choosing vocabulary, constructing grammar, and monitoring coherence. It's a full cognitive workout. But because you're writing about your own life, it feels natural rather than academic. Here's the rule I give every single learner who works with me. Don't stop to look up every word you don't know. Write with what you have. Fill gaps with the closest word you can think of. Confidence in writing comes from writing imperfectly, not from waiting until you write perfectly. Mistakes aren't failures. They are your brain actively working to solve a language problem. Every error is evidence of progress, not proof of weakness. Fix it later. Write now. The reading side. If writing feels too challenging at this point, trade it for reading. Just 5 focused minutes. But focused is the key word. Not skimming English posts on social media and moving on. Actual, deliberate reading where you slow down and pay attention to how the language is built. What should you read? If you're a beginner, children's books in English are genuinely excellent, and I say that with complete seriousness. Simple vocabulary, short sentences, clear cause and effect. They build reading confidence fast, and confidence is the foundation everything else sits on. For intermediate learners, try graded news websites. Resources like Easy English News or News in Levels present real-world topics using accessible language. You stay informed and you practice English at the same time. And here's a trick I want you to try starting today. Recycle your listening content. You already listened to something in block 1, right? Now read the transcript of that same content. Read it slowly. Look at how the sentences are structured. Notice word choices. Spot the transitions. When you use the same material for both listening and reading, your brain processes that language twice. Once through your ears, once through your eyes. That double exposure is one of the fastest ways to move vocabulary. From "I've heard it" to "I actually know it." Now, I want to talk about the piece of this system that ties everything together: because without it, you can do all 15 minutes every day and still feel stuck. Vocabulary. You know. That feeling where you understand what you want to say, but the exact word won't come. That gap. That frustrating half-second pause. That's a vocabulary gap, not a grammar gap, not a confidence gap. So here's how we fill it, without overwhelming you. 1 word per day. I can feel the resistance already. 1 word, that's nothing. I need hundreds of words. But listen, carefully. 1 word that you genuinely understand, can say naturally, and actually use is worth 50 words you crammed into a list and forgot by Thursday. Here's the process. Pick 1 word. Look up its meaning and 2 or 3 example sentences. Say the word out loud 3 times, slowly, clearly. Write it in your own original sentence, something connected to your real life. And then, this is the critical step. Use it during your Block 2 speaking practice. Let me show you. Today's word: overwhelmed. It means feeling like you have too much to handle, mentally, emotionally, or practically. Say it. Overwhelmed. 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 Write it. I felt overwhelmed this week because 3 deadlines landed on the same day. Now speak. It. During your narration practice, say, lately I've been a bit overwhelmed, but I'm working through it 1 task at a time. That word is no longer on a flashcard. It's in your mouth. It's attached to a real feeling. It's wired into your memory by emotion and personal experience. And that kind of memory doesn't fade the way list memorization does. 1 word, every day. That's the habit. Let's bring the full system together one more time. Block 1, 5 minutes of focused listening. Short content, 1 mission question, 2 listens. Use the transcript or subtitles. Block 2, 5 minutes of solo speaking. Narrate your day. Talk to the mirror. Play the swap it game. Use your real voice, not a whisper. Block 3, 5 minutes of reading or writing. 3 to 5 original sentences or 5 minutes of deliberate reading. Recycle your listening content, plus 1 new vocabulary word. Learn it. Say it. Write it. Use it. 5, 5, 5, 1 word. Every day. That is your complete system. Now I want to be honest with you about something, because the system is only half the story. Here's what actually happens for most learners. Day 1, excitement. Day 2, still going. Day 3, decent. Day 4, I'll do it tomorrow. Day 5, skipped. Day 6, guilt. Day 7, maybe this just isn't for me. Sound uncomfortably familiar? Here's what I want you to know. That pattern has nothing to do with your intelligence. It has nothing to do with your language ability. It has everything to do with the fact that a habit hasn't formed yet. A habit, by definition, is something that happens without a decision. You don't decide to brush your teeth every morning. You just do it. That's what we're building here. Automatic English practice. And the fastest way to make something automatic is to attach it to something that's already automatic. This technique is called habit stacking, and it works like this. You already make coffee every morning? Good. The moment that coffee finishes brewing, you start your 5 minutes of listening. You already wash your face before bed? Perfect. While you're standing at that sink, you talk to yourself in English, out loud, into the mirror. You already eat lunch? Ideal. While you eat, you do your 5 minutes of reading. You're not carving new time out of your day. You're inserting English into gaps that already exist. Small, easy, sustainable. And I need you to hear this because it genuinely changes how people think about progress. Consistency beats intensity every single time. 15 minutes every day will take you further than 2 hours once a week. Not because of the total time, it's actually similar, but because your brain builds language through distributed repetition, not concentrated exposure. Think of it this way. A seedling needs water regularly, a little at a time, day after day. Dump a bucket on it once and ignore it for a week, and you won't get the growth you were hoping for. Your English is that seedling. Small, consistent nourishment. Every single day, I want to close with something I see every single day from learners, and it breaks my heart a little every time. Waiting. Waiting to feel ready. Waiting for the right moment. Waiting until their English is good enough to start practicing. But here's the truth, and I mean this with every bit of respect I have for you. Waiting doesn't build fluency. Action does. Every time you open your mouth and speak English, alone, imperfectly, stumbling over words, you are getting better. Every time you write 3 sentences, even messy ones, you are getting better. Every time you complete your 15 minutes, even on a tired day, even when it doesn't feel like enough, you are getting better. Progress lives in the doing, not in the planning, not in the waiting, in the actual doing. So today, not this weekend, not when work calms down, not when you feel more confident. Today, try your 15 minutes. Block 1, block 2, block 3. You have the system, you have the tools, you have 0 excuses left. I say that with genuine love and respect for your journey. You can absolutely do this. I am cheering for every single person watching right now. If this helped you, hit the like button. It tells me to keep making content exactly like this, and it helps English Unleashed Lab reach more learners who need it. I'd also love to hear from you in the comments. Tell me which of the 3 blocks feels hardest for you. I read every single one. Thank you for spending your 15 minutes with me today. Keep going, keep showing up, and I will see you in the next one.